Your surround mixes might sound great in your 5.1 equipped studio, but with all the flexibility of Pro Tools, you might need to work on them when a 6-channel speaker setup just isn't possible. Downmixing is the concept of folding down your 5.1 mixes into less channels. In this movie, we'll explore how to take a 6-channel surround mix and downmix it to monitor in stereo using the Nayrink surround tools that come with the complete production toolkit. The mix of this project has a few surround mix moves going on in it. If you wanted to listen in 2-channel stereo like we are now, we'd miss some of the surround mix moves that are happening. For example, in this crash scene, we've got one of the crash sounds we've enhanced with surround reverb. Right now we're just listening to stereo, and if I play it back, we miss it. Let me solo the track and let's hear it. So all we hear is just the left-right component, but I'm not hearing any reverb in surround, of course, because we don't have surround speakers set up and we're just listening to it in left-right stereo. But with downmixing, we can fold our 5.1 mix into the stereo mix so we can hear everything even over just our left and right speakers or headphones. So here's how you downmix. On the master fader, I'm going to insert a plugin. It's under the sound field tab and it's called Soundcode Stereo. And this pops open this tool. It's a pretty simple tool here. Again, it's doing the downmix algorithm inside. Basically, you have some controls over your left, right, your center, your left surround and right surround, and your LFE. There are a couple defaults in here that you can bring up. The Dolby Digital default, and that's just going to encode like Dolby Digital would as if it was downmixing to surround. But again, this is not encoding. This is just making it so that we can monitor through our stereo headphones. So you can set these however seems appropriate for your setup. If you wanted to hear the LFE, you can bring that in. You could make the center and left surround channels even. We'll leave it as this for now, and let's take a listen. So now if I play this back, we should be able to hear that reverb that we weren't hearing before because it's in the surround speakers, but it's being downmixed. Soloing that track so we hear just that effect, and here we go. So you heard the reverb, and that was only in the surround channels, but because we're downmixing, the downmixer did its job, and we're hearing it. There's also a number of ways to deliver a multi-channel mix, like a 5.1 mix, as a stereo pair for broadcast or DVD creation. This is called encoding the mix from 5.1 to stereo. Then the mix can be decoded on the broadcast end. This Nayrink tool doesn't do encoding and decoding, but they do make one that does. It's called the Stereo Tool LT-RT, and here's a slide of it. It looks very similar, but this tool actually does the encoding as a real-time or audio suite plugin. It can encode a 5.1 mix using Dolby 2 technology. Dolby 2 is a way of encoding a 6-channel surround mix into stereo, so it can be later re-up-converted back to 6 channels on the broadcast end. Also, on the ultra-high end, some broadcasters and theatrical film houses require audio to be encoded as Dolby E. Nayrink also sells and rents this service as a plugin for Pro Tools. So downmixing is another one of those technical considerations that exists kind of outside your creative choices for a mix. But that said, any good engineer mixing in surround has to be aware of these concepts and delivery specifications. Otherwise, all those creative efforts that you worked on to make your slam-in surround mix happen won't be heard by the masses.